Hey there YouTube, Ruckman back once again with your weekly Pioneer deck tech. I've got plenty of fun decks cooking up that still need some time to prove, so this week we're going to take a look at one of my favorite decks to play when I just want to have some fun in the format, Gallia Sligh. Oh, and besides being a total blast to play, it's pretty on budget, being only 25 ticks to pick up on MTGO. So to start the party, Gallia sent out invitations to all of her guests, and to make sure they all received them, we're starting with 4 copies of Bowmat Courier. The electric commando helps us start hitting on turn 1, and if left unanswered, lets us wheel our hand away into whatever presents our guests decide to send back. Never late to the party, our first guests are 4 Rakdos Cacklers, giving us a 2/2 body for a single mana, because let's be honest, if this boy is ever leashed, you're going to be in for a bad time. Following Cackler is an on-tribal 1-drop with 2 power of 4 full copies of Fire Drinker Satyr. With the Rise and Lure Spurn, Satyr is definitely a risk to our life total, but it's a risk he's willing to take for the sake of the party. Rounding out our 1-drops are 2 copies of Wayward Guide Beast, giving us another hasty above-the-curve threat that can be used late game to help us cast multiple spells if needed by replaying our lands, since we're only playing 20. A little late to the party, but our final guests are 4 copies of Burning Emissary. This free 2-drop is just what we need, allowing us to play multiple creatures in one turn, or even finishing a Chain of Elves with one of our key payoff spells. With all the guests assembled, it's time to welcome our hostess with the mostest, Gallia the Endless Dance. She's a 2-drop with haste, offers some occasional tribal synergy, but most importantly keeps the party going by constantly drawing us into more threats or big payoff spells. It's easy to say that Gallia has quickly become hands down one of my favorite Magic cards, especially thanks to that wonderful Johannes Voss artwork. And what are some of those payoffs? Well, we have 4 copies of Vitarka's Command, which until recently has been criminally underplayed in Pioneer in my opinion. It can help keep our opponents from gaining life, deal them 3 to the dome, grow our team, and on occasion help us play an extra land. In similar fashion, we're playing 4 copies of Reckless Bushwhacker. Its reliance on Surge can make a late copy pretty awkward, but it's a perfect showstopper after a chain of Burning Emissaries. Gallia's generosity doesn't stop there though. As a parting gift, make sure your opponent doesn't blood rush out the door and miss our 2 copies of Gore-Clan Rampager, or forget to pick up one of our 2 copies of Embercleave as they leave. To help make sure the party doesn't stop, we're playing 2 copies of Anax Hardened by the Forge, ensuring that we can survive a big Supreme Verdict or similar wrath. But Anax isn't coming empty-handed. He's bringing 4 copies of Wild Slash to help get in those last few points, or remove a pesky blocker. Gallia made sure she picked out the perfect venue for this amazing party. She has 4 copies of Stomping Ground, 4 Crag Crown Pathway, 2 Rootbound Crag, all supported by 8 mountains, and 2 forests. Don't worry, because Gallia's not done partying yet. She's got plenty more planned in our sideboard, starting with a single mountain to help facilitate boarding into our 2 copies of Experimental Frenzy, and or our 2 copies of Hazard the Fervent, for matches where we need to prepare for a long, drawn-out fight. Then, 2 copies of Heroic Intervention to give Anax some Wrath protection backup, 3 copies of Roiling Vortex to help with those pesky Uro matchups, or to support our 3 Tormod's Crypts against Oops All Spells. Lastly, we're going to have to take stock of the aftermath of our 2-lead Destructive Revelry. All in all, this deck comes highly recommended for those who just want to relax with a different take on aggro and Pioneer, play something fun on a budget, or who just want to join in on the party. As always, this has been Ruckman with Crew 3. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to keep up with our weekly deck techs. For more Pioneer content, you can find Crew3 A Pioneer Podcast on all major podcasting platforms, or you can join us over on twitch.tv/Crew3MTG, where I stream several nights a week. If you'd like to see your name added to this wonderful list at the end of all of our videos, head on over to patreon.com/Crew3MTG to support the podcast and this channel. I'll be taking next week off to enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday, so talk to y'all in 2 weeks. Bye!